Hello, everyone. Lee Henson, president and founder of Agile Dad, and it's time for another edition of the Daily Stand-Up. Let's get started. One of the things that I love to talk to ScrumMasters about specifically is their ability to ask the right questions at the right time. Now, many of my friends have teased me throughout the years because I've always said as an Agile coach that the best coaches or the best ScrumMasters are usually female because of their female intuition or their ability to be able to detect that something's wrong without actually having to, see or physically witness what's happening, and their ability to sort through and resolve whatever issues might be present. While that's all true, I often wonder, could there be more to this? And could we be doing more as a Scrum Master to really uplift and help people better understand what they could be doing or what they should be doing in order to help them feel comfortable, feel good about what they're doing at their jobs? So one of the things that I've asked in my advanced class for Scrum Masters to do is when they have the opportunity to pull someone aside, not necessarily as a planned meeting or as an opportunity for them to schedule this or have a structured talk, but just pull individuals aside if you're a coach or a Scrum Master and ask them if they have a minute. And there are three powerful questions that you can ask. And these three powerful questions can really change things for the work environment, to help build culture, to help build an ecosystem, and to help people feel that level of psychological safety that they are looking for in order to really appreciate and love what they do. The first question that you can ask is, make sure you take someone outside in a safe zone in a neutral area and ask them, when you wake up on Monday morning, what is the one thing that makes you the most excited about coming to work? What's the one thing that you love the most about your job? What's the one thing that you feel is so incredible that you love to do every single day when you're at work? What's the one thing that drives and motivates you to help others do better? Now, while it seems like a very simple question, the answers are often quite surprising. We find that oftentimes team members have different things that motivate them, things that are different than what we originally thought. It's not always that people are motivated by money or possessions or things of those natures. Sometimes people are motivated and inspired by smaller things, by simple gifts. And I think it's important for us to recognize those and for us to show others that we appreciate or care enough about them to ask that question. Question number 2 is the more fun question. If there was one thing that would drive you crazy, if there's one thing that sent you into the abyss and made you wish you had an eternal snooze button you could press so you'd never have to wake up again, what would that be? What would that one thing be that bothers you the most about your job? What's the one thing that you dislike the most about what you do? What's the one thing that you feel very, how shall I put it, very uncomfortable doing or very unhappy about your job, and if there was something I could take away, if there was one thing I could lift off of your plate, whether it be short-term or long-term, what might that be? And while it sounds like a pretty crazy question, I can assure you that the answers that you get here will be surprising, that people will tell you, hey, this is what I'm thinking, this is where I can go, this is where I can make improvement. And, it's interesting because sometimes you'll learn that the very thing that you're asking people to do is the thing that they dread the most. And the only reason they're doing it is because they care about their relationship with you as a Scrum Master or coach. So I think it's important. I can tell you now, I had so many times where this story has rung true, where I've interviewed someone, we'll just call her Jennifer. I say, Jennifer, what's the one thing that you hate the most about what you do? What's the one thing that you dread doing? And Jennifer tells me, I really don't like feeling like I'm managing people. I don't like being, a lead of the team. I just want to be one of them. I just want to work with them and integrate and, be happy just working with and, working tightly and closely with team members. Only to find out later that afternoon in a meeting with leadership, with senior leadership, they said, that Jennifer, she's going places, we ought to make her a lead over multiple teams, or we ought to make her, responsible for multiple people. Wow. How many times have I seen that happen where people just, flip a switch and hope for the best, and, they pick the person that they think is going to be the most reliable, but at the same time, only finding out that they're hurting themselves by doing so because that's the person who wants to do it the least. You need to be that representative. Now, I'm not claiming that you have to be, a psychologist of any kind to be able to do this, but you should have these conversations if you're a more senior coach. The third question that rocks people's world is when I pull them aside and I say, do you love what you do? What do you see yourself doing in 5 years or 10 years? Do you see yourself changing positions? Do you see yourself adjusting and doing something different? Are you completely happy doing what you're doing right now? What could you do to make your life better here? Or what could I do to help make your life better here? And you'll be surprised. This is a question that shows everyone that you care, that you have a heart, and that you're willing to help them make adjustments in order to have that work-life balance that they're seeking so that they can do better at the things that they're trying to do. Another interesting thing is, trying to get your head around and understand each person individually could be difficult, but at the same time, with that great challenge comes a great reward. It's oftentimes that you'll hear me say, when I refer to the ScrumMaster, whether it be in coaching or classes, I often refer to the ScrumMaster as a doctor. You'll hear me say that the ScrumMaster's job is to listen, and to listen to symptoms, and then based on those symptoms to diagnose what the actual problem is, and to have a prescription ready that's going to help the team or the group be successful. Now, oftentimes, just like a regular medical doctor, for example, you may not know all the details, or you may not initially prescribe the right dosage or the right medicine. As long as it's not life-threatening, it's good to allow teams to grow and learn by realizing or recognizing their mistake, but it's also incredibly important for you as a Scrum Master or coach to get that understanding and to feel that bond between you and the team grow so that you can continue to accelerate their business agility, but at the same time build those relationships that are going to be meaningful so that the team feels comfortable when it comes in times of need for them to speak with you, whether it's about something that's going well or even something that's a challenge. You want the team and the team members to feel like they don't have to dig deep to find courage to speak to you, and that they know when they do speak to you that you're going to behave as a third-party advocate, that you're not going to go and you're going to represent them. You're not going to go and expose all the things that they said. It's just so important for you to really understand the team at a level that's dynamic, but also at a level that's going to help everyone involved feel like they have this ecosystem, this culture. It's the easiest way to describe it. We talked before about psychological safety and the importance of getting people to feel like they work in an environment of psychological safety where they can, freely and openly use radical candor and talk about the things that are important to them. I think that this is just another message that we need to make sure that we're clear about as Scrum Masters, that we do care, and that as your Agile coach, we want to see you be successful, not just as a team or organization, but as an individual. And whether it be setting aside a few dollars to make sure next time you're at IKEA to buy, a couple of extra treats to say thank you for your teams, or whether you're working remotely and it's just showing that extra smile, or just checking in with someone, not for a meeting, but just to let them know, hey, I'm here for you if you need me. These are all things that don't cost much, but they go a long way. If I can leave you with a word of inspiration, one of the things that I've recognized in my life is that the best thing you can do is show the team that you don't care. Now, I know that sounds wild on the surface, but hear me through. When I say you don't care, what I mean by that is that you don't care what everybody else thinks. You don't care about status or about how other people perceive you as an individual. What you care about is, helping them be successful and helping the organization really recognize that you'll do whatever it takes and go out of your way to help. Now, that doesn't mean necessarily punishing yourself, but the wisdom is here. If you lose yourself in the service of others, you're going to find that you as a person continue to grow, and that it's going to help you both in your personal and professional endeavors to find the happiness that you're seeking. It doesn't matter how much wealth in the world there is, or how many bonuses you get, or how many hours you put in each week or each day. If you're not happy doing what you're doing, it's all for naught. My advice to you would be to stop doing what you're doing and to find something that makes you happy. It's amazing to me to see how many organizations forget this very basic principle and how many individuals forget this, and they lose themselves in worldly things and find that they're just not happy. The truth is, as many scholars have written, happiness can't be bought. It's our opportunity to find those key things that make us happy, to share our talents and wisdom with others, and our mission should be as an Agile coach or as a Scrum Master to uplift others and to help others recognize their own creativity and help others recognize that they too are empowered to be able to do amazing things, and that they should feel happy about what they're doing. If you enjoyed this podcast, We appreciate you being here. I encourage you to leave comments, to like us, to rate us 5 stars, and to visit agiledad.com, where you can see more blog posts, white papers, comic books, all kinds of good information. It's all available for free, and will always be free, for that matter, for all those things that are there. We appreciate you, and we hope to work with you soon, whether it be in a coaching capacity or a training capacity or certification capacity. As always, stay well, stay healthy, stay agile. Until next time, take care.